So guys, here I am back. Yesterday I worked a lot on my setup. I'm gonna take my faith stuff out because I'm gonna change and I'm gonna try to get all of this in another cover. Now it's so funny, I was talking to all my little friends last night and I was like, I want a Vanderspec. I want a Gilio. Samantha, Maya, leave her alone. Why are you messing with her? And then I was, because I had sold all my Vanderspecs and Gilios and whatever. So I was like, I had a knockoff. I was gonna buy one just like this. It was that Poseidon or Posier, whatever. And some lady was selling it for like $115. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not buying one unless it's $90. That's just how I felt. And then I was like, Monique, you have like a very similar one to that. Why don't you try and see if you can get everything in it, right? So I'm gonna do that first, and then we will go over the stuff that I've done in here. I've had so much fun yesterday just taking my time through some of the stuff, and it just was vibing. It was doing its thing. And my main purpose was to have a lot of my mental health and a lot of my stuff for my family, and then like my planner too, right? So I don't know if it's gonna fit, you guys, because this is like 25 millimeter rings, I want to say, or even less than that. It might be a really big chunky thing, but we shall see. All right. Okay, it's fine. I just won't be able to put this in, and that's okay. That is quite all right. Let's try to put some of this. And then I woke up to, well, yesterday I got just sick, like coughing, just crap. I'm like, oh, but this is not gonna look right. No, I'm gonna have to figure that out later. But I just started feeling like really sick, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my throat is hurting, my ears are hurting. So I had like messaged my doctor, and I was like, can you send me a Z-Pack kind of thing? But more than likely he won't, because he's gonna be like, no. So look at that. The only thing I would have to do is get my pin loops, and my pins in here. So I would have to use one of the little clips for here. Anyway, we'll do that later, okay? So let's talk about, and my ear is like hurting me. It's not fair. I did have a bunch of this back here because I liked the stickers and stuff. So in terms of my planner section, which would be this is more of my planner section, and then this is more of like all of the home and like what did I try to say, mental health. So in here I've got the same stuff. We had to place a Walmart order. I want to add a pin loop, make a bookmark, and then the to-do area, I thought about doing my victories and defeats again. Right here, I add in a picture of my daughters and I, just to remember, you're raising young women. Show them who you are by your actions. Show them who they are by your actions. I did this yesterday, I want to say on my Instagram. If you're not following me there, it's Monique_plans. My throat is hurting. Okay, so I just kind of, these are, I outdated them, as you can see. So the week, I kind of went back and plotted stuff down for the last week, and then I'll probably do this week. I will probably have to add in more weeks, but these are Filofax pages, so it shouldn't be bad. And then, oh, I did homeschool. So read, have her make stuff, help stuff, practice stuff, laugh stuff, go outside, enjoy life, music, walking, baking, shopping, board games. I added stuff here. I homeschool because I see in the village and I don't want to raising my kids. I kind of put that in almost everything. What she needs to learn, different subjects, maybe suggested stuff for during the week. Like it said, like I found this on Pinterest. It was cute. Map It Monday, Geography, Culture, Social Studies, Tinker Tuesday, Science, Experiments, Wednesday night, Science and Nature, so stuff like that. And then on the actual like area where I would plot down to-dos, there are a bunch of sites that you could go to for free and use in the different areas. So podcasts, science, reading, social studies, and math. She already uses Khan Academy for math, and Duolingo. Duolingo is like math and language arts together. So I wanted to go and she's watched Nat Geo Kids before. So like just stuff like that. But at a glance, this section should be able to give me like, if I don't know what we should do today, I should be able to look in this section and be like, okay, let's do this. So that's why I want to get this section built up. And then my monthly, that's self-explanatory. So let's go to the mood, which is like the biggest thing. I do want to put some more stuff right here. My friend gave me this. It's types of self-care: physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and then the stuff here. So right when I open it, I want to be able to see myself and give myself affirmations, because then I'm going into some really serious topics of some of the mental things that I go through, which would be all right here. So this kind of like for me. So I put a long time ago, we had went, well, it wasn't a long time ago, maybe it was about 3 years ago, maybe 4. We went to eat out with our kids and I was enjoying a margarita. I took a few sips, I felt sick. But they got this really cute picture of me. It was a really happy time. I kind of felt good about myself, like weight rise. I wasn't like, I was healthy. I don't know. So I put right here, the pain you're feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming. So like when I look in this area, I can remind myself, you know, you're a child of a king. You could do hard things, but you need to rest. God understands you. Keep going. Be proud of you. So in here, in the autism area, I just got a bunch of stuff off Pinterest just to remind me of, even though I'm having a meltdown, a shutdown, a burnout, because there's differences on that. Autistic meltdown is when your surroundings become too overwhelming, your sensory structure becomes triggered, and you need an escape from the situation. Shut down, you're like done. When you have suppressed your natural reactions within environments, they've been triggered by a situation and you have yet to deal with it. So you're just going to be like, burnout. I go through this. Oh my gosh, this is my life. Your brain shuts down because of continual stress, which can last for days to weeks. It says spit stitch, but. And then some positives about being autistic. I think that's important for me. This is the number one diagnosis that I did not know I had. I knew I had ADHD and OCD, anxiety, depression, PTSD. I knew all that. I definitely stemmed from trauma, but I did not know about autism, about myself, but it just so explains my whole entire life. It does. And so, you know, there's some overlap with it, and there's just some things that I go through I wrote some notes on, you could be extroverted in some areas, but it means you struggle during or after those social interactions. You need to communicate. I'm trying to, as I've gotten throughout the years and trying to teach my children who are autistic to have better coping mechanisms for themselves. You could have friends, but you still struggle to understand your social cues, so be aware of that. You don't have to have all these routines and habits if they don't help you. They should help, not send you into stress. My routines for me and my kids and all of our stuff, they usually calm us. They usually give us back a structure of familiarity. They usually have, but the problem is when you're out of that routine, and how flexible can you be, or are you just completely rigid? Because most times we are. So it's just, find a trusted friend, try to regulate yourself, understand your sensory sensitivities. How do you know if it's autism or ADHD? By the way, this is my personal stuff. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed therapist. I have a background in counseling, but that's because it's my complete special interest. So yeah, autism struggle to focus on the things autism struggle to focus on things that they do like, and then they become fixated. OMG. So it's kind of like, I love this. I am not going to leave this. This is wonderful. Like, I don't know. ADHD often dislike and avoid things that they have to focus on, concentrate on. I don't know. I just wrote right here my example. I love planners, filming, and social media. I will fixate and obsess about it. I avoid doing chores and all adulting with multi-layer steps like the plague. Like if it has multi-layer steps, things that I know but then I have moments where if it's really intricate and it's really hard to do, I could do it in 5 minutes. So there's so many, that's why it's a spectrum. There's so many facets. I thought this was good for my daughter, well, all of us, me and my girls. It explains so much about girls on the spectrum, which many don't get very, I don't know. I feel like there's not, now there is. I feel like the generation now could get so much more out of what's going on within them, but creative talents, loves to write, may appear shy, artistic, musical, sensitive, loves animals, unsure when it's her turn to talk, unique sense of humor, perfectionist, may feel out of place in the world, dislike of conflict. Oh my God, that's huge. Routine is important to her, anxiety, OCD, unusual eye contact, enjoys spending time alone, adapts behavior in order to fit in, may appear young for her age, may talk a lot on future favorite topics, trusting, private conversations in mind, escape through imagination. That is like all of us. That is, I look around and I see my daughter and I'm like, wow, that's me. That's me when I was a kid. So ADHD, I put information. I'm not going to go through all the information. That's going to be kind of boring. But, like things that kind of could help me understand what's going on while I'm in that struggling, And, OCD is a disease that bothers. It is a disease that tortures. It is not a disease that fixates on lining up stuff and being orderly. I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe that could be a compulsion you have to relieve the anxiety of the intrusive thought or your obsession you're having, but like your whole goal is to, hopefully, is try to resist or alter or delay the ritual somehow, some way. If not, try to choose your value over your comfort. I have done this my whole life. I've tried this my whole life. I've had anxiety since I was like 8 years old, like 7 years old. It manifested really young for me. So I wrote this was very comforting to me because it was like how an OCD episode really feels. Anxiety triggers from intrusive obsessions, which often is not based on real life things. Like sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, we're going to die. A tsunami's coming. Like, what are we going to do? I can't even swim. I don't know how to swim. Sophia's going to be, she can't swim. And then like my other kids can. And then who's going to rescue us? Let me go on Amazon. Let me go and get like some life jackets, a first aid kit, like just in case it comes tonight at 6. And then like we'll be prepared. It's not real. I recognize that it's excessive and irrational and extreme and like all this stuff, but I cannot control it. And then I have to engage in some kind of something to help me. I will wash my hands. I will pray. I will check the stoves. I will go open up the door and see if there's like storms coming. Like I will try and do anything to kind of relieve the intrusiveness and the panic and the anxiety. So it sucks. It sucks. So I thought about putting this in here that says streaming thoughts, because I got it from my book, which I got from an airport one day. It said, when Jesus speaks to a woman's heart. I don't know who made it. Let's see. Donna K. Maltese, Barber Books. There you go. You can probably find it on Amazon or what's that place? eBay. So it says, it's kind of like as if God is speaking to me, and there's a scripture. You guys know I like that type of stuff. So I am going to probably put this in here and probably put like washi tape right here. So I've got that. I've got stuff on depression. Depression is like when I'm having struggles with my ADHD and my autism, I can't regulate it or stuff like that. Anxiety and depression always follow, always. These are just some warning signs, some things I could do. You know, I put some stuff about the brain chemicals. It's not, a lot of people would be, because I always thought sometimes, even within my training in school, it's like, okay, we've got altered brain chemicals, but it has a lot to do with faulty mood regulation by your brain, genetics, you know, stressful life events. I tend to be very functional in my depression. I'm one of those ones that you won't be able to tell. Nobody will be able to tell at all until like nothing's getting done in this house. I'm laying on the couch and I'm not doing absolutely nothing. I'm not bathing. I'm not cleaning. I'm not cooking. I'm not smiling. Then you know there's trouble here. Like I will have a lot of brain fog and forgetfulness. And I mean, it just, the chemistry behind depression warning signs. So like, I like to have an area, this whole area is for me to remember, like, hey, I was talking to my friend, and I know you guys remember that movie, 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore, and how she has to be reminded every single time of her life or whatever. It's kind of like that in a way. When I'm in a spiral or a blur or a shutdown or something, I've got to remember, I lose skill and I can't think straight, and I am not logical at all. And I have a trouble understanding emotion, putting myself in someone else's shoes. I can't understand what I'm feeling, let alone what you're feeling. And all these things, especially it happens a lot in my marriage, a lot. And especially with like my children sometimes, as my older boys my middle boy is getting older, he's, got a lot of different things too. And I've got to watch my approach, and then I'm struggling with my approach, and then so I've got a lot in here to help me with my marriage and my kids too. So I will try to go over some of the stuff with the marriage. Ask God first. I could draw it out. Mind mapping my emotions is very, 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 very crucial when I can't understand something. I immediately am like, you're my enemy. You did this. You betrayed me. You have hurt me. And then there comes some of my trauma, you're not to be trusted, and like, and because I can't regulate. I'm like, what did you do? Why did you? Then I get very rigid, and I'm like, well, what happened? Why did we? I need answers. Like, why did this routine change? Why did you change? Why did we change? Why? Get it back, fix it now, immediately. Panic happens. What I need, a vision for our marriage, what a strong marriage is, date night, gratitude, prayers. What do you struggle with, Monique? My husband's needs, his character. That's really big. Remember I told you guys I have a little book, a little thing where my husband writes down like a grounding statement for me. Well, I got to remind myself, he's responsible, he's kind, he's a family man, he's focused, he's dependable, he's a hard worker. So I wrote like his character, and then a grounding thing for me, and then a sample prayer in disagreement. neurodivergent couples, scriptures, God ways for marriage. And then I could do prayers for him. So that little section is like specially just for my marriage. If we have any date nights, if we have any cool things, if, it's not just a bad thing, it's like a good thing too. And then in the kids area, they're uniquely different. I'm not like, I never ever in my life said that I'm just this mother that I could just get it all together. Clearly I struggle, so it's very hard for me. They're finding God through you. Show him his love. It's so hard. So hard. Okay? Because I struggle. I have issues. I am not perfect. Nobody's perfect, but there's a lot of guilt and shame attached to that too, right? Because I was like a young mom. And so it's like, how do I show them God? How do I show them, the character of God? How do I, and I know who God's character is versus mine or another person. So share your time with them. God, help me to remember you have equipped me to be their mom, full of nurture. Focus on truth. You have a special way that only you could give them. Fight through your nerves and your thoughts. A sample approach, right? Positive first with your communication. You don't just come in here like, look, you haven't been doing your chores. You better do it now. It's like, hey, is everything okay with you? Like, are you struggling in some way? Do you want to talk about something? No, I'm fine. Da 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 da. Is this a good time that I could talk to you? So sometimes my kids will know, like, I'll bring my stuff and I'll be like, they know, like, I have a paper and I wrote it down and I'll go talk to them. Like what I want to say and my thoughts and stuff. And yes, I do be like, don't think this is funny. Okay. Don't laugh at mom. But it's important to me because I want to be able to know, to say the things I need to say and remember it the right way. And so it's like, yeah, I could talk to you, or no, I can't talk to you, arrange a different day or time. This works with my husband too. This works with regular, just schmegular people, not just my family members. I learned this a long time ago, and I learned this in a seminar in HR for communication. And because I have to teach, I had to like teach managers and people this kind of stuff. And I was like, man, you're not even applying it to yourself. I struggle sometimes. I can't even do this crap. So look, then I got stuff for each one of my kids, right? So I'll show you a sample, and then like with Isaac's, I got pictures of them. And then over here, just, stuff to remind me for myself, because he is transitioning. He's growing up. It's hard, okay? I don't know if he's going to go to college or if he's going to stay home locally, whatever's going to happen. So don't assume the worst. Be full of hope. Be clear and detailed with your questions. Sometimes I overshare. It's like a roundabout, like I can't get to the point. Allow space. Let him grow as a young man. That's so hard. Keep his goals at the forefront. Allow for mistakes. Keep openness and honesty within your relationship. So there's some stuff he wants. He wants guitar lessons and a rug for his room, some t-shirts. Over here is about universities, and he's interested in biophysics and chemistry. The boy is a genius, like, whoa. And then I've got notes, strengths, and his challenges, so I can remind myself. And then the same thing for each and every one of our kids. So that is that. And then this down here, back here, is some of the stuff that I'm still working on. It's an area for me. Now I can easily put this over here in this area, but I want this to be information. I want this to be a specific section that I can work on. Holy moly. So this is just one that I did. Coping skills. So good. I don't know who I got it from, but a good coping skills, one that helps you feel better in the moment without hurting yourself or anyone else. It's also one that doesn't get you into any trouble now or later. A poor coping skill is one that might make you feel good when you use it, but it ends up hurting you or other people. Using poor coping skills for a long time can be harmful. I learned good and bad coping skills, unfortunately. So they're giving you examples of Don't dwell on the past, but the Lord stood with me and gave me strength. So before I go into all of the things I want to work on, I thought to put me in a little area where I could be like, hey, okay, you're still, just because you want to work on these things, and change doesn't happen overnight, right? And you can't do it without God. So don't think you could be just this person that could do all these things. And by the way, I'm getting sick. I don't know what it is. It's either sinus, my yearly sinus infection again, because that's what it feels like. So I got my mead paper and I got Bible study and all that I could put in here. My home, family night, discussions, vacations, projects. This is still a work in progress, but I might put some meal plan ideas in here. I'm not going to do like recipe stuff because no. I am one of those ones where I eyeball cook. Yeah, there are some things that I need to follow, but it's a hot mess in the kitchen sometimes. YouTube and real estate. So I don't know. I might change these areas. My YouTube is one of the ones where I just put the phone on the tripod and go. I don't plan out crap. Sometimes I'm filming like 3 or 4 times a day. So maybe just like the flow of a video, ideas, notes. I don't know. And then real estate. I thought to put like information, but I don't know. I might change these. And I have these little tabs. I got them from Daiso. And so I might change this area into something else. So if I do that, I'll let you guys know. And then that's it. That is it. So I love that I have my planner and these notes. Now, clearly, I'm probably going to have to go to 30 millimeter rings. But for right now, I want to keep it completely streamlined. If I need to, I could definitely just take all this out and it could be a whole set book on its own, a whole ring setup on its own. And I can but I wanted to do it together because sometimes when I use ring planners and I have like several, that's one thing I cannot do. I need one ring planner, one size at a time. I can't keep like an A5 and a personal and a pocket going all at once. So if this works, then maybe I'll just ditch the planning and then just keep this, or vice versa, or who knows, I'll just keep them both in. But for right now, it really, really, really is amazing and making me like really want to do this in the new year. So that is what I wanted to talk about. That is what I wanted to show you. Again, like I said, I still need to put these in somehow. I'll figure that out. But I am super duper excited and I wanted to share it with you. And I thought to come back and update. God bless you guys.